Welcome back, you lovely people. Hope everybody is doing amazing. Thank you to those that joined the Ask Me Anything yesterday. Very much the topic was about patience. Of course, we've been remaining patient for many months now, whilst the market finds some momentum. That is what we're searching for. It does seem like we're finding some momentum. We've had 3 out of 4 green days, and then yesterday we had a sell-off, but the sell-off came into our support. It came into the broken channel that we have. Remember, last time we broke out of the channel, and then when we came back in, we didn't hold it. We came back into the channel. This time we broke the channel. We've tested it once. We came in, tested it twice, and now we're heading back up. And this morning we had some nice momentum, and then some more China FUD came out. We had a sell-off again, but we've come nicely back into the top of the channel, but also this 33,500 line, which is holding really, really nicely. So support lines are holding much better than they were previously. Feels like the market wants to start making a move. We can't be sure which direction that's going to be yet. Of course, we all want it to go up. And there's another line that we're starting to watch, which is this one, which we've had in, for a while, since we had this touch after the capitulation on the 22nd and then on the 26th. And it looks like we're holding that, as well as buying taking place at that level. So just as a thought experiment, I wanted to see what would happen if we held this line through to the cycle peak. So if I extended this out to the right, it's going to look something like this. So this would involve us eventually taking out our key levels around 40, 42,000, heading up to the all-time high. This level would pass the all-time high around, let's call it the end of September, approximately 28th of September. Now, of course, that's a little later than we've been targeting, because we've been talking about mid-August for the all-time high. But we need to remember that the final stage is the parabolic blow off top, and that would involve us leaving this trend line and going up much quicker. So let's have a look at previous cycles to see what that looked like. I'm just going to head back to this chart because it's a bit cleaner. We go on the log view, which is going to make it easier for us to view. Let's extend this line out to the right. And look something like this. So in 2017, what does that look like if we compare? So this is 2017. This is our mid-cycle shakeout at in the middle of July. So on the 16th of July 2017, if we'd have started to put in that sort of support line, it probably looks something like this, where we had a touch in September, a touch in November, and then from mid-November we began our parabolic blow off top, which would look something like that. And when we eventually broke this parabolic line, then that was the beginning of the bear market. So you can see, if we compare that to what we're doing now, this line would be the one that we're starting to form at the moment. And then this was 12th of November. The all-time high was 16th of December. So let's call it 5 weeks. 5 weeks out from the all-time high, then we begin our parabolic move. Does that compare to 2013? Let's have a look. So this chart's a bit weird, but let's do it from here. There we go. So again, we had our shakeout in July, and if we'd have started to put in a support line there, it's not as clean as 2017, but it probably looks something like this. We'll call this anomaly, a big sell-off that happened over a day. But you can see that the support line held all through this period as well. And then we began our blow off top after that. And if I'm going to put that in, it's a bit harder to find the clean line here. So if I start it somewhere around here, then that is probably works better. So depending on how we look at it, we begin our blow off top, our parabolic run between mid-October and beginning of November. And the all-time high was at the beginning of December. So again, it's about 5 weeks or so from the parabolic move begins. Let's see if we can apply that to 2021. So this line that we've put in would be our support line that we would hold up until 5 weeks before the all-time high. And we're going to use our target of $296,000. We've been calling mid-October. I believe when we did our numbers, latest numbers, it was about the 19th of October. So let's use the 19th of October. And let's work backwards. 5 weeks from the 19th of October would be around the second week of September, something like that. So second week of September, let's just call it the 10th of September, a bit later, 12th of September. So from the 12th of September, if we put in our parabolic move up to 296,000 by the 19th of October, something like that. And then we would end up looking like this. Let me get this out of the way. So then if we follow the path, you know, we hopefully we hold this support line. We're going to come in at some point. We're going to test the most important trend line in crypto, probably get rejected once. That's when we come in and test our support line again. Hopefully at that point blast through it. I expect that when we do start moving through it, we'll move through quite quickly. This is very broad strokes here, just for illustrative purposes. At some point we'll have a pullback again. We might come in and might be a sharp pullback and we retest the most important line in crypto, high probability. But we hold our lines, and then let me start a new line from the parabolic move. And then around early to mid-September, we begin our run up to 296,000, which it's gonna, you know, we definitely don't need to be specific on this, but we would end up looking something like this. It's not the best drawn line ever, but it's for illustrative purposes. And if you just look at, you know, this whole box, the all-time high through to this, what will be the mid-cycle shakeout that we've just experienced from the halving, which was in May. So the halving mid-May through to the all-time high, this would be our Bitcoin bull market. And this would compare quite nicely to 2017, where we had the halving in 2016. Let me zoom out a bit. Halving in 2016, and then we had a nice run up. We had the mid-cycle shakeout in June, July, and then we began our move up, and then we had the parabolic move. And in 2013, I can't really go back on 2013, the data's not on this chart, but at least you can see we, from the mid-cycle shakeout, we started to move up, and then 5 weeks before put in the parabolic top, and then started the bear market. So that's the sort of shape that we're looking at. This is why it's important to zoom out, because lots of people are getting confused, frustrated, perhaps thinking that the top is in. This was the parabolic blow off top. And I just want to show you, if you zoom out then and have a look at previous cycles, then at least in my opinion, we are absolutely right on time, where we expect to be. And we are primed and ready for our move up mid-October, blow off top, and sticking to the plan which we've been following, which has not changed yet. If anything does change, then we will be the first to cover it and figure out what that means for the halving model. But at the moment, it's very, very much still in place. And there is still a possibility that we need to leave on the table so that we're all prepared for it. And that's because the market has been shaken so much, and perhaps we have one final sell-off and then begin our move up. If that happens, I would expect this V to be quite dramatic. We'll probably even go lower than that. Maybe we'll go down to 28, 27, 26,000. Worst case scenario, in my opinion, 20,000. If that does happen, I would expect the bounce to be huge, and basically for us to join back up with what I've already drawn in anyway. But just be prepared for that, because of course it would be everybody will be panicking if that happens, and that's why we cover it. That's why we continue to study and prepare for all of these eventualities. So thank you so much for supporting me in the channel, and I'll talk to you soon.